years up until Jax's last days. The first time I met Jax, which was about 3+ years ago, I was absolutely in awe of the fact that Jax could hold a conversation with an adult. This is honestly truly unique. Nothing against all my teens in here. You guys rock. Not all y'all can hold a conversation that Jax could hold with myself or my husband. Jax was a gift. I then became aware and in awe of the fact that a 14-year-old could understand Jesus' command, which is to love God and love people. I was amazed that Jax gave up time to volunteer with the elderly, volunteer with the kids at church, and was genuine about it. Over the years, Jax wasn't trying to fill an obligation for school. Jax loved others and wanted to protect, fight for what was right, and make others feel well, loved, and taken care of, always. And this was all by the age of 14 that I saw this in Jax. It was inspirational and truly remarkable to watch someone love others so well. Jax and I bonded over all things music and theater. I did it for a living, and Jax immediately wanted to share music that was written by none other than Jax. I quickly came to find out music and art was Jax's way of expression. It was Jax's way of worship to her creator. There would be many nights Sean and I would receive texts with, "Hey, listen to this. Let me know what you think about this song I've been working on." And I'm forever grateful that Jax chose Sean and I to share those songs with. And we are even more blessed that we got to sing with Jax and hear Jax play instruments over the past years. I loved having Jax next to me singing. Jax sang full volume with no inhibition, sang straight from the gut. And Jax loved nothing more than to use her gifts of music for worshiping God. Some of you might not have known that until walking in here today, but Jax loved Jesus. Jax, just like the rest of us, was not perfect, had inhumane issues, just like me, just like every single one of you in this room. And Jax loved Jesus, and more importantly, God loved Jax unconditionally, no matter what. When you saw Jax worship, you knew it and you felt it. I miss Jax horribly, and I know all of you do as well. There are times I sing and I feel Jax next to me still. I know the youth band feels the same way. I miss Jax's energy. I miss Jax's hugs. I miss watching Jax play with my twins. They love Jax so much. I miss watching Jax attempt to annihilate the opposing team in ultimate frisbee and to make fun of Sean, which Josh has taken up that notch very easily. I miss Jax saying, "Guess what I did? You're gonna be so proud of me." And I miss Jax messaging us and saying, "Can you pray with me? I'm having a really hard time today." Sean and I were always so proud of you, Jax. We love you always and forever. We will carry you with us always. And we're comforted knowing that you're with Jesus and we'll sing with you again one day.
This is just going to be a very short celebration of Jax. Between the two of us, my wife cries a lot. I don't. I'm going to see if I can uphold that today. Jax and I got along right off the very start. And let me just quickly explain why. In high school, my first sport was track. First event that I ever did was hurdles. I have been a guitarist since I was 11. Loved to write my own music. That's what filled me, what got me excited. And on top of that, probably the other class that I usually would skip other classes for was art. I loved to paint. I loved to draw. It was a way to express myself. Walking in and seeing some of the art that so giftedly was given to Jax reminds me of me when I was in high school, when I was a teenager. It also allows me to fully and truly know in my heart, man, someone like Jax was fearfully and wonderfully made. The intricacies of her personality, like Shanna said, how she could have conversations that were just elevated in terms of what she knew and what she talked about, her passion. It was unbelievable. I remember every moment that we had up on this stage, up on the youth band stage, because let me tell you something. When you are singing, when you are worshiping alongside someone who is so passionate about what they do, it gets you fired up and it gets you excited. Jax was filled with passion and gave 110% in every aspect of her life and what she did. She was fearless, and she took risks because of her passion to write music, to sing her songs, to share it with other people because she loved to do it, and she loved people. She loved sharing life with people. That's the truth. I look back on all the times that I spent with Jax, and she is someone that I trusted enough that it doesn't matter what event we were doing, what game we were playing, what sport, she's the first one that I would choose on my team. Because I trusted her. I knew she trusted me. I think some of the best mornings that I had were when I would wake up and I would already get a text, here's my pump-up song of the day. She would send me the music that was getting her prepared, whether it was for a meet or just going to school. Though she struggled, just like all of us in different aspects, I believe she knew her worth from God. She was designed to be talented, to be honest, to be a good friend, to care for others. And she was designed to share such incredible music and art and thoughts and ideas. That's what I'm going to remember the most, and I continue to remember every day. I believe that I am blessed just to have had a relationship with her. And really the only other thing that I would like to drop on you guys is I would love everyone, with a show of hands, raise your hand if you heard one of Jax's songs that she had written. You are blessed. Anyone who hasn't, listen, because that is talent, that is joy, that is love, that is passion, and I think we all need to experience that day in and day out.
Hi, my name is Daniel Kufo, and we wrote letters to Jax. So here's mine. The day I met you was one of the best days of my life. I remember watching you hurdle your freshman year and my sophomore year. You were so fast and confident, and you looked so happy while you competed that I had to ask our friend Cecilia who you were. When we finally started talking, I realized that you were not a senior, but a freshman. We hung out for the rest of the meet. We made each other laugh, and we had a great time. It was one of the best meets I had ever attended, and it was all because I had met you. On that bus ride back home, we talked for the whole hour-and-a-half ride back with almost no break. I remember we had to keep our voices down because everyone else was asleep from the long day that we had had. But that hour and a half, it made me feel so seen and so heard. And even though we had known each other for only a few hours, we got along so well. You will always be like one of my younger siblings to me, and I will always love you.
Dear Jackson, I am so thankful to have known you for 6 years. I can't quite remember the first time I met you, but I do remember your kindness. Since high school, you have asked me how my day was almost on the daily. You were content to listen to all of my ramblings as I told you every little detail, and you were excited, as was I, to tell me about your day. You introduced me to all sorts of things because you were great at everything you tried. Whether it was art, music, track, academics, fashion, a love for ice cream, or anything else, your passion was inspiring. For the past 4 years, you have been my buddy, going on the crazy roller coasters with me at Hershey, eating pizza in your backyard, or having a dance party in my living room. You have always tried to be truly yourself and always pushed me to be a better person, accepting me every step of the way. Jackson, if there is one thing I have learned in the past 7 months, it is just how much you were a part of every aspect of my life. I wish I could still share the milestones I have experienced with you and continue to see you become the amazing person you are, but I am nevertheless thankful for 6 years. Did you know that 6 years is 189 million seconds? I had 189 million seconds with you, Jax. And I loved every single one of them.
And today and forever, we wish that each and every one of you will never forget any of the memories that you have with Jax, that you will look fondly upon every ounce of kindness that comes your way and pay it forward so everyone might know the love of Jax.
Hello. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Elise Williams, and Jax was like the older sibling I never had and one of my best friends. We pretty much grew up together. I've got lots of memories of the two of us, going all the way back to elementary school. Book swaps on the bus in the morning, Jax catching me up on my Marvel movies, water balloon fights, games on the trampoline, ice cream on the porch, hours spent painting, and even more time spent just talking. We talked about most anything and everything. No matter how late I was up, Jax was up later. After all, Jax was the type of person you could text randomly out of the blue about the most absurd things and then get a near immediate reply that was both thoughtful and insightful. There was one time in the pandemic when I impulsively sent a text complaining about how crazy life had gotten during COVID, and within 3 minutes I got a reply saying, "The world needs love, and yeah, the world is a tough place, but you can match the toughness with compassion and mercy and love. Tough can't match against love. That's why we have to smile at people." Let me tell you, Jax was one of the most loving and one of the most loved people I've ever met. We all love Jax. And so Jax was 1 year ahead of me in school, and so I often found myself being asked to do things I'd recently seen Jax do. So I had to complete the same summer math packets I'd once seen thrown across the Carey's kitchen counter, and I filled in on the keyboard when Jax was too busy with track. But no matter how much I did or how hard I tried, I don't think I could ever achieve the same levels of compassion and determination as Jax. Ever since the two of us were little, Jax was candid and affectionate, always fighting for the underdogs. The only notable exception of this was any team going up against the Giants in the Super Bowl, because let me tell you, that poor team had better pray for mercy. Jax wanted to fix everything that was wrong with the world. No matter how you put it, Jax lived life with entirely unapologetic courage and determination. Above all else, though, Jax was vibrant. There was always a new painting, a new sketch, a new book, or a new song to experience. Jax was extremely talented artistically, and being around Jax was like standing in an endless art gallery that had its own playlist with songs you couldn't name but somehow still knew. Jax and I both did music here, and while the rest of us sometimes got nervous just standing up on stage in front of the room, Jax could stand in front of a whole entire crowd and belt out songs as if no one else even existed. One of my favorite memories of Jax singing up on the stage was at the Lock-In this past summer. Naturally, because it was done with a group of high schoolers, the Lock-In became an all-nighter. That night, the two of us sat on two little couches in a quiet corner, surrounded by warm blankets and an embarrassing number of Mountain Dews, talking about life. Later, we joined some of the others outside in the parking lot, sitting in a warm car with the windows open, singing along with the radio, and watching an amazing sunrise, pink and gold. When I think of Jax, I'll remember all the good we shared, and I'm always going to remember Jax at 4 a.m. that morning, singing and laughing along with the sunrise. And Jax, I miss you like crazy, and I'm forever grateful for all that we were able to share. Thank you.
Says a lot of you are good, when there's nothing good in me. And recently I've had a lot of, let's say, difficult things going on in my life. And I kind of forgot what it was meaning to be, like, even if I didn't feel good and things were going horribly, I forgot that things are still good, and there is someone good, and there is someone looking after me. And when it says you are peace, when my fear is crippling, life is very hectic, and it always will be, but you have to remember that it's okay, because we're all going through the hectic thing, and we have someone amazing to look after us. And most of all, I think the most important thing is remembering that God is love, because I forgot that, and I felt that no one could love me, like no one. And when you come to the point where you realize that even if you can't feel the love outpouring from your friends and your family, at the end of the day, you're still here. You're still here being able to experience God through nature, through singing, through the gospel. For me, it's through singing. So this song, I just want you all to remember that He is there, and He is there for you. So.
Closes in. You are hope, you have covered all my sin. You are peace when my fear is crippling. You are true, even in my wandering. You are joy, you're the reason that I sing. You are life, in you death has lost its sting. Oh, I'm running to your arms, the riches of your love will always be enough. Nothing compares to your embrace, light of the world, forever reign. You are more than my words will ever say. You are Lord, all creation will proclaim. You are here,
will sing, no other name, Jesus, Jesus. My heart will sing, no other name, Jesus, Jesus. My heart will sing, no other name, Jesus, Jesus. My heart will sing, no other name, Jesus, Jesus.
Is Anne here? Oh, there you are. Hello.
Hi, everybody. My name is Ann McLean, and I'm the Activities Director at Littlebrook Nursing Home. I had the great honor of knowing Jax through her volunteerism, as I was introduced to Jax by two loving parents during the performance of the Master's Puppets. Jax was a performer in these masterful puppet shows. You knew when these children landed, it was no longer a quiet, peaceful nursing home. That's for sure. They brought joy and laughter to our house. This program is an absolute wonder to behold. The hours of practice and preparation is something to be commended. As they were setting up their production, the children visited, puppet in hand, each of our residents, even the residents unable to attend the show. They visited them in their rooms. Among them was Jax, and she was asking, "Who can I visit next?" This is a great gift taught to a child by loving parents, a good foundation of the church, and the exposure of outreach to the community. Thank you, and thank you, Valley View. Jax began the journey at Littlebrook with these wonderful resources and learned quickly how to incorporate love and friendship towards the needs of our residents. Jax dedicated one of the days of the weekend to volunteer and serve. Except for the day that we tie-dyed, she made sure she came in for that. This was back in 2018. I recently read Jack's sign-in sheet for each visit, and I started to smile at the description of the visits. I offered snacks. I did arts and crafts. I colored the banner. But what really touched me the most was the documentation that read, "I sat and talked with Mary. I sat and talked with Kathy, and I visited Doris in her room." This was Jax, offering friendship, caring for others, and most of all, love. But there was more to come. COVID came upon us, and our facility canceled visitations for family and friends. This was devastating to all, but especially Jax. This did not deter Jax, though. Through great determination and resources, handmade cards were sent to each of our residents, Valentine's Day, Christmas, and inspirational cards. Hand-drawn pictures and paintings by Jack, as you can see, what an incredible artist. This was the passion, the love of others, to leave no one out. Not even COVID stopped Jax. Jax came to me and asked, I'd like to collect gifts for the residents for Christmas, okay? I didn't know what to say, but yes, gift ideas and our residents' needs were given to Jax. And again, through resourcefulness, the word was put out to the congregation, family members, and friends. All got involved. These gifts were collected and distributed Christmas Day. What a special thing. Stationery, stamps, lotions, stuffed animals, baby dolls, handmade bracelets, jewelry, and also I have to say those squishmallows were a big hit this year. What a joy. My residents would ask me, where did this come from? And I would tell them the story of Jax and the inspiration of wanting to give to others. I'm honored to tell this story and will continue to do so over and over again. There are no words to express this act of pure love. Jax's loving family and friends have committed to continue to honor this great outpouring of gifts and love. Thank you. Jax has passed these efforts and examples of friendship and charity to others to fulfill a great gift from a dear friend. I would like to read from Thessalonians as I feel it refers to Jax's life. We remember before our God and Father your work produced by faith, your labor prompted by love, and your endurance inspired by hope in our Lord Jesus Christ. I also remember handing this poem out to Jax, but I never realized how truly it describes the amazing spirit and works that Jax lived for. This is the beatitude for friends of the aged. Blessed are they who understand my faltering step and shaky hand. Blessed are they who know that my ears today must strain to catch the things they say. Blessed are they who seem to know that my eyes are dim and my wits are slow. And blessed are they who look away when coffee's spilt at the table today. Blessed are they with a cheery smile who stop and chat for a little while. Blessed are they who know the ways to bring back memories of yesterdays. And blessed are they who know I'm at a loss to find the strength to carry the cross. And blessed are they who ease the days on my journey home in loving ways. Bless you, Jax. So let's celebrate the life of Jax, the legacy of friendship, charity, and love of others. I know that I will continue to do so. Thank you all, and God bless you, all of you.
I'm Robbie. I'm old. And I've known Jax about as long as anybody except Elise and her mom and dad and brothers. Because I first got to know her when she was in 6th grade in the puppet team, and my wife was in charge of the puppet team, and because I like to suck up to my wife, I helped out with the puppet team. But what did I see? I saw Jax instantly make friends with everybody in the team. But then I got to see Jax interact with the kids that we would do puppet shows for and old people at nursing homes. Okay, look, a lot of junior high students love working with children younger than themselves. We've had hundreds of junior high students in the puppet ministry over the years, and I can count on one hand the number that really loved hanging out with old people. And Jax was one of them. She had that heart. Just like Ann said, who can I go visit? Who can I take a puppet down the hall to? That was Jax. And she loved old people like me, which made it special. One day in church, I was the worship leader here, and I would always watch Jax sing at the top of her lungs. She came to me one day and said, "Can you teach me to play guitar, Mr. Gross?" Let's do that. She learned really, really fast. Next thing I knew, Jax was on the worship team for our junior high ministry, singing and playing. She was crazy voracious with how much she wanted to learn about music. So next thing I know, she's playing the keyboards and singing. And then she started writing music. And most of you in this room, it looks like, have heard some of her music. And it is amazing and wonderful. Jax was very talented. So over the handful of years that I got to spend time with Jax, we got together and made music a lot. We would make it here in this building, upstairs in my office, or we would make it at the family patio in Califon. Over and over and over again, we would do that. And as our friendship grew deeper, we would share more and more things that were going on in our lives. But we didn't always agree on these things. And we shared that that was okay because agreement wasn't necessary for our friendship. Love and respect was. And we had plenty of that. Then COVID came. The world shut down. Everybody went completely cabin crazy. And thanks to Victoria, we figured out a way that we could keep singing. On that deck, 6 feet apart, making glorious music for the Lord. Just Jax and me. And then it was Jax and me and another young person. And then Jax and me and more young people. And pretty soon we'd have 5 or 6 of us on that deck, all 6 feet apart, singing at the top of our lungs and reveling in each other's company. As COVID restrictions lifted, Jax got more and more involved in activities and organizations and musical programs at Voorhees, and we had a little less time to hang out and make music. But whenever we got together, we picked up right where we left off, like good friends are supposed to do. A few minutes ago, we got to see a video clip of Jax the last time I got to sing with her was on Sunday, July 31st of last year, which is when that was recorded. On that day, a team of talented young people from this church gathered together to lead this church in worship, and they did a magnificent job. After the message was over, we came back to the platform to sing the last song, and Jax took me aside and said that she had something to say. We don't do that very often. But she looked me in the eyes, and I saw trust me. So I nodded, and I am so glad that I did. Jax delivered an inspired, transparent, and encouraging message that met many of us in that place of sadness and loneliness that we have all experienced in one time or another. Then after church on September 18th, Jax and I saw each other here. We embraced. We told each other that we loved each other like we always did. And the next thing I knew, Jax was gone. If you recall, I started my remarks today with I love Jax. I didn't say I loved Jax because I believe that Jax is still alive. There's no question in my mind that she's more alive today than she ever was here. You see, that clip in the worship service that we saw a few minutes ago, Jax testified about the God of the Bible, that Jax had trusted with everything. That God who is good, who is the giver of peace, who is the embodiment of love, who is always there and promised to never leave or forsake us. So I believe as a result of Jax's faith in Jesus, in the time before Jax passed, on the 26th, Jesus was in the midst with her, ministering and preparing to carry my friend home to be in heaven forever. Yeah, she's more alive than she's ever been.
We know some of you are local, and we know some of you have traveled great distances to honor Jax here today. You being here is a real testament to Jax's memory, and we just want to let you all know that your presence is needed and very much appreciated. Thank you for coming, and help us remembering a life worth celebrating. Victoria and I would also want to say how grateful we are to Valley View Chapel for not only hosting and being fully involved in this celebration, but also for being a big part of Jax's life. And a big thank you to those who spoke earlier for sharing heartfelt memories of a wonderful, loving, caring, compassionate human being. And I say human being because in a lot of ways that sums up Jax's life philosophy. We are all human. And because of that shared humanity, we should love each other no matter our differences. When you leave this evening, there is a remembrance card available that has this life philosophy written out in Jax's own words. In abbreviation, the card says that we are all people. And we are all figuring out life differently. So be nice, be respectful, be you, and love each other. Jax's life was too short, and is a reminder of just how precious life is, and just how limited our time is here on this earth. Many of you have likely heard about this poem, The Dash, though maybe some of the younger people here have not. It talks about the dates on your tombstone. For one, the one when you were born, and another when you pass away. And in between those dates is a dash. And your lifespan is represented by that little dash. The dash tells your story. It's about what people remember about you, your successes, your failures, your accomplishments, your shortcomings, and how you treated others. I am proud to say Jax's dash is full of compassion. It's full of love for everyone and selflessness. Jax fought for the underdog and stood up for those who were not accepted. Did Jax get a lot of grief for this? Yes, for sure. But even though Jax knew the road would be difficult, Jax had a heart full of love that overcame a lot of adversity. Jax continued into high school with the same ideals, insisting that despite all of the differences that separate people, absolutely everyone deserves to be noticed and loved. Jax was incredibly wise and generous. when Jax was just turning 13, she came to us and said, I don't need anything, and I don't want anything for my birthday. And to continue through the next 3 years. What more can a parent ask for? We couldn't have been prouder. Well, I think everybody knows that Jax was definitely the artistic one in the family. And let me tell you, Jax did not get those genes from me. Because if you give me a straight edge, yeah, I can draw you a straight line in any direction. But other than that, that goes beyond my capabilities. But Jax's creativity went beyond the sketches, the drawings, and the paintings. It encompassed music, singing, performing. And let me tell you, Jax's writings was so empowering. Jax was also an activist and presented arguments before the Board of Education explaining why books should not be banned. This is a great example of how Jax never sat back and waited for someone else to fight for change. No, Jax grabbed the bull by the horns and wrestled it down because in Jax's mind, saying no to an opportunity was a cowardly way out. Even though Jax is no longer with us, we will never forget the love and generosity of such an amazing young human being. Jax was all about trying to make someone else's life just a little bit better, for no matter what. Even after passing away, Jax's organs and tissues were donated to those in need of them. And in a moment, Elijah will share a letter received from a recipient who serves as one more testament to the way that Jax's life continues to bless others. Jax, your mom and I couldn't be prouder of all your accomplishments, especially at such a young age. Your ambition knew no boundaries. You excelled in every endeavor that came your way: school, band, choir, art, athletics, and the list goes on. You were awesome, intelligent, talented, and a bright light. We will always treasure your artwork, your creative poems, and the life of love you have shown us all. We miss you, Jax. Life is precious, and so is the time we have together. We need to put our differences aside and believe there is good in this world and be the good. So the challenge to us today is to continue Jax's legacy of showing love and respect to all people. God bless.
These are the words of Jax from June 2020 of what she believed in. We are all human. That's it. We are all human and we deserve love and respect. These last 2 months have been really difficult for me, but one thing I'm thankful for was the opportunity to meet all sorts of different kinds of people. People who show love in different ways than how I do. People who live in different ways than I do. And one thing I really learned this month is there's no right way to be a human. Humans come in all different shapes, colors. People come in different sexualities and identities. People come in different abilities and disabilities. And the most important thing is that we are all people and we all figured out life differently. So this is my way of saying be nice, be respectful, and most of all, be you. Love each other no matter our differences, and love each other, especially if we are the same as each other. Happy Pride, y'all.
So this is the recipient's letter. It says, "To the family, words cannot express my gratitude to you for giving me this second chance. I am very much aware that someone who was loved and has donated their kidney to me is now a beautiful angel. Please accept my condolences and know that I will forever be grateful for your beautiful angel, because without their generous kidney donation, I would not have this second chance at life. I ask myself, how can I possibly express all that is in my heart to the family so as words are not enough. Instead, I will write this letter in hopes that you can accept my efforts as a way to show my gratitude and acknowledgement of life that was lost in order for me to be here in the flesh. I will use this significant time in my life as an example of the need to pay it forward. This is my promise to you. I just want you to know that the angel that donated their kidney to me will forever be my angel, as well as in my heart for all time. I wish I had the opportunity to know more about this person, as they truly will never be forgotten for their generosity. Thank you so much for giving me this second chance, and I will live every day with the intention, keeping the legacy of my donor alive. From the bottom of my heart, Natasha.
I would like to close by reading this from the book of Luke, 6:27-38. But to you who are listening, I say, love your enemies. Do good to those who hate you. Bless those who curse you. Pray for those who mistreat you. If someone slaps you on one cheek, turn to them the other also. If someone takes your coat, do not withhold your shirt from them. Give to everyone who asks you, and if anyone takes what belongs to you, do not demand it back. Do to others as you would have them do to you. If you love those who love you, what credit is that to you? Even sinners love those who love them. If you do good to those who are good to you, what credit is that to you? Even sinners do that. And if you lend to those from whom you expect repayment, what credit is that to you? Even sinners lend to sinners, expecting to be repaid in full. But love your enemies, do good to them, and lend to them without expecting to get anything back. Then your reward will be great, and you will be children of the Most High, because he is kind to the ungrateful and wicked. Be merciful, just as your Father is merciful. Do not judge, and you will not be judged. Do not condemn, and you will not be condemned. Forgive, and you will be forgiven. Give, and it will be given to you. A good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. It will be pouring into your lap. For with the measure you use, it will be measured to you.
Give, and it will be given to you. Perhaps today there was something you would have liked to have said in tribute to Jax, in remembering Jax. Please take the opportunity to reach out to the family. Write that in a card or a text. Those kinds of remembrances will be precious to the family in the days to come. Let me close with a prayer that borrows wording from a very familiar Psalm of David, the 23rd Psalm. Lord, in these days, be our shepherd. Guide us. Provide for us what we need, for we are needy. Comfort us, for we are in need of your comfort. Walk with us in the dark place. Walk with us through the dark place. Prepare a table and a place for us, as you did for Jax. Follow us with your love and with your presence all the days of our lives, and we will thank you. Amen. We'll close with a video.
This is for the busted hearts. This is for the question marks. This is for the outcast soul, lost control, no one knows. Sing it for the can't go back. Sing it for the broken past. Sing it for the just found out. Life is now upside down. If you're looking for hope tonight, raise your hand. If you feel alone and don't understand, if you're fighting the fight of your life, then stand. We're gonna make it through this hand in hand. And if we fall, we will fall together. Together.
This is for the second chance. This is for the new romance. Singing for the left in vain. Overcame. It's not too late.
If you're looking for hope tonight, raise your hand. If you feel alone and don't understand, if you're fighting the fight of your life, then stand. We're gonna make it through this hand in hand. And if we fall, we will fall together. Together. When we rise, we will rise together. Together. Listen, if you're looking for hope tonight, you're all alone. And you feel I can promise can you feel it? We fall, we will fall together. I got you, my brother. I see you, my sister. We rise, we will rise together. Together. Take my hand, help me stand. Together we are dangerous. Together with our differences. Together we are bolder, braver, stronger.